Welcome back. All right, so 6 games in the NHL tonight. Relatively busy for a Friday. As we finish up the games that were delayed, now we get back into the regular schedule starting tomorrow with a pretty big game going on in Nashville as the centerpiece of a pretty full day of hockey tomorrow. So we had games staggered throughout. Again, if you were trying to follow all the action tonight was a little bit easier than normal, as long as you didn't have anything else to do for about 6 hours. All right, so starting off, we had Columbus in against Carolina. Columbus won the last game 6-0 between the two. Sorry, I wrote that down this morning. Remembered it after the video was done. The one thing with previews, they don't get a ton of views. So I know there's that niche audience that enjoys the previews. I do that for them. And yeah, so it happens. So it was Berube versus Anderson in this one. JF Berube's proving that, yeah, he probably deserves to get, a look as an NHL goaltender maybe next year. He's not as young as some of the other goalies, but goalies can play late, right? So the road team had won every matchup so far this season in this one, and tonight would be the difference. Natchez is denied early. Slavin was denied as well. Roslovic then has a rush chance the other way. He was denied in close. Martinook had a partial break. That saved. Domi drops the gloves with Jarvis. Seemed kind of odd. A crowd is drawn, and the Canes ended up coming out of that mix-up with a power play. It's killed off. Bear then prevents a break. Canes press at 7 minutes. Columbus gets a power play. Pretty strong kill, so that's done. Gavrikov takes a puck to the face. It was kind of scary. There was blood on the ice. Took a while for them to clean it up. Thankfully, he would return. It's just, man, pucks to the face. Close call then for Lawrence. The shots are 9-3 in favor of the Canes with 5:45 left. It'll get worse as the Canes get a power play. Trocheck, Svechnikov are both denied. That power play is killed off. Berube's the only reason this game is scoreless at that point. With 1:36 left in the period, Columbus gets a power play. So that rolls over into the second period after a scoreless first, and the Canes finish the kill. Svechnikov's then denied right after that. Gavrikov was back shortly after. Shea's denied as the Canes were pressing. Nyquist then has a wraparound chance that was saved for the Canes. As Freddie Anderson wasn't overly busy, but he was good. Stahl had a break that was denied, but then he wasn't denied on his next opportunity. He scores from Niederreiter and Pesce at 9:22. So we're about halfway through the game, and it's 1-0 Carolina. The shots would tell you this game should have been a lot more than that. Canes then press for another. Boquist has a chance at the other end. That was saved. Cole has a screenshot that's saved and held. The Canes get a power play. That's killed off, but they would get another shortly thereafter, and this one works. Teravainen from Aho at 18:09. So late in the second period, it becomes 2-0 for Carolina. And it was on a nice face-off win. And then Carolina's looking for more. In fact, the Canes had the momentum at the end of the period. So it's 2-0 Carolina after 2. But the shots are 38-9. So could have been a lot worse. Third period, 1:14 in. It gets worse. Niederreiter scores from fast. That one deflects in off Berube. Teravainen then tries for more. And at 1:50, Trocheck scores from Natchez. So it becomes 4-0 very quickly in the third period. Columbus then gets a power play. That's killed off. There was a press by Columbus at 7.5 minutes. Trocheck nearly adds another. Aho fires one wide as the Canes were pressing. Lawrence then had a wraparound. That was saved. Corrali goes after Trocheck. Things get kind of scrummy there. Trocheck does tend to get under the skin of the opposition, so it's not that unusual there. Columbus comes out of that with a power play. That's killed off. Natchez fans on one later on. But at the end of the game, the score is 4-0 in favor of Carolina. They go to 36-11-4. The Columbus Blue Jackets 27-24-1, so their winning streak is done. Carolina's continues. The shots in this one, 16-3 in the first for Carolina, 22-6 Carolina in the second, and then 12-10 Carolina in the third. Final shots are 50-19 for Carolina. Power plays, Blue Jackets 0 for 4, Carolina 1 for 4. Hits, 25-9 in favor of Columbus. I mean, Carolina only threw 9 hits because they had the puck the whole game. Berube saves 46 out of 50. He was fantastic. Anderson saves all 19. And yeah, the Canes go to 3-1 against Columbus this year, and they avenge that 6-0 loss. So if you're going to avenge, you might as well get a shutout. So the last 2 games between these teams have featured shutouts. First for Columbus, and tonight for Carolina, who left very little to doubt in this game. Next up, St. Louis and Buffalo. This was a very entertaining game, and this was one of those ones that, Buffalo, once they start getting better, which they should next season, maybe this one doesn't slip away. So it's Tokarski versus Husso early. Cousins on a rebound. He scores from Asplund and Okposo. It was a scrambled play. Buffalo gets the lead. They don't care what kind of play it is. They just care that they have a lead. It was a really strong start for the Sabres. Then there's a power play for them. We then get 10 seconds of 4-on-4, which leads to a 1 minute and 50-second power play for the Blues. Thomas has a chance that's saved and held. However, on that power play, Jordan Kyrou scores from Perron and Falk at 7:06. The Sabres then get a second power play. The Blues did kill that off. They allow one shot. Blues then get a power play again. That was killed off, one shot. The Blues press after, and Kyrou gets the second goal of the period from Falk and Barbashev at 14:23. And it was a perfect tip by Kyrou. The Sabres then get their third power play of the first period. Husso denies Thompson. It's killed off. Tuck was then denied in closing seconds. So it's 2-1 St. Louis after one, and a very entertaining game. They announced as the second period gets going, Sundqvist, who had a lower body injury sometime around the halfway mark of the first period, he would not return to the game. Early power play for the Blues. O'Reilly can't bury one. Kyrou's denied. It was killed off, but 4 shots. So Tokarski's keeping it close. And then Okposo scores from Dahlin and Skinner at 3:27. So suddenly it is tied. And Buffalo was playing very well. Things get brawly at 8:42. We end up with 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. The Blues had a 2-on-1. That fizzled. Perron with a net feed. That's defended. Bortuzzo, rush chance. That's kicked aside. Husso holds on a Hague chance. Thompson is denied on a break. With 2:38 left, the fourth power play of the game is called for the Sabres. Thompson's denied during that. They did kill it off. And then Wallman, right after the power play ends. It's not technically a shorthanded goal. The door was open. Saad and Parayko with the assists at 19:25. So really, that's your backbreaker right there, right? In most cases, this puts the Blues ahead 3-2. Third period, though, the Sabres did not give up. They didn't fold their tents and go home. Shots are 5-2 in their favor 3.5 minutes in. The first half, I thought they had a really good edge to most of that action. Costin then has a rush chance that deflects out. The Blues were stuck on 2 shots for a while. Then there's a net feed to Thompson, near miss on that. The Sabres get a power play, and they score. Former St. Louis Blues member, Tage Thompson, scores from Krebs and Tuck at 12:34. So that's a fun goal, right? You've got Thompson there, who came over from St. Louis, is having a great year. Krebs and Tuck, 2 of the guys they picked up for Eichel, not too bad. However, 13:57, a little bit over a minute later, Parayko scores. It's a 2-on-1 goal from Kyrou and Barbashev. So Kyrou with an assist to go with his 2 goals. And that puts them up 4-3. The Sabres did press with 4 minutes left again. They do not give up. Net feed to Kyrou then is blocked. Saad was denied with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Took until 42 seconds left to get the goalie out, but it didn't look like they were really trying. So the camera's isolating on the goaltender, and it didn't look like they were trying to get him out until late. They call a timeout at that point. However, new father, Braden Shen, he would score from O'Reilly at 19:27. So your empty netter makes it 5-3. St. Louis goes to 31-14-6 with the win. Buffalo 16-29-8 with the loss. The shots in this one, 14-6 Buffalo in the first, 11 apiece in the second, 13-6 Buffalo in the third. Final shots 38-23 for Buffalo. Power plays, Buffalo 1 for 5, St. Louis 1 for 3. Hits 15-11 for St. Louis. Tokarski saves 18 out of 22. Husso saves 35 out of 38. After allowing that early goal to Cousins, he really locked it down and played quite well. The goaltending in this one was pretty good. Even though Tokarski allowed 4 on 22 shots, I thought it was pretty good. Then we get over here. Chicago and New Jersey decided it was 80s night. So that happened. It's Gillies versus Lankinen in this one. Good back and forth early. It was a very wide open game. Janssen has a chance that's blocked as the Devils press. The shots are 3 apiece at 6 minutes. And then on a turnover by Ty Smith, Hagel buries it at 7:34. Devils try to answer. In fact, the shots at 9 minutes are 6-4 for the Devils. And at 9:41, they answer. It's Hughes from Graves. Really nice play by Graves to set that up. Hughes buries it into the net. It's 1-1. Then there's a post for Hughes during that same shift after the goal, which led to then Doc has a rush the other way as that puck comes off the post. Tatar then had a net drive save. The Devils press with a minute and a half left, and eventually they get the goal. It's Sharon Govich, who's been red hot, from Hughes and Siegenthaler at 18:55. Absolutely great shift by the Devils. They're up 2-1 after one. Second period. McLeod fights Carpenter. The Hawks end up coming out of all of this on a power play, and they score on it. It's Kane from DeBrincat and Seth Jones at 1:34. DeBrincat then had a chance on a turnover. That was saved. There's a close call then for Mercer. He nearly answers. There's a power play for the Devils. We then end up with 4-on-4 for a minute and 9 seconds. Hamilton with a shot blocked. Hagel rushes. Everything gets killed off. Gillies would deny Borgstrom after that. Heischer has a rush chance that's saved. The Hawks get a power play shortly after that, and they score on it. It's Kane once again from Seth Jones and DeBrincat at 11:24. So DeBrincat, known for getting all the goals, now he's getting some assists to make up for it and just getting points. That's good. That was off of Severson's stick as well, that Kane goal, and you could tell by Severson's reaction. Hawks get another power play. There's a shorthanded break for Sharon Govich. He can't bury it, and then when the puck's the other way, Hagel does. He scores the second goal of the game from Kane and DeBrincat at 14:09. The Devils press for an answer. Eventually they get it. At 17:43, it's Jesper Bratt from Severson and Siegenthaler. So Siegenthaler with a couple of helpers. And after the second period, it's 4-3 in favor of Chicago. And then the third period was crazy. So 23 seconds of a Devils power play to start it off. They had a power play to end the second period. Hawks did finish the kill. McLeod has a rush chance that's saved. The Hawks had a 3-on-2. Doc had a chance that was saved on that. The shots are 5-2 for Chicago at 6.5 minutes. So they're not sitting back with the lead here. Lankinen was out of position, but Hughes couldn't bury that one. Devils press at 8 minutes, and eventually it goes in. Siegenthaler scores his first as a New Jersey Devil to go with his 2 assists. So that one from Hamilton at 8:36. However, eventually Chicago's going to answer. It's Doc from Murphy and Jones at 14:04. What happens here is Ryan Graves with a pinch, an offensive zone pinch, and the puck goes the other way. It's 2-on-1, and Doc buries it. So after that, 41 seconds later, Carpenter adds another. He scores from Entwistle and Seth Jones. But exactly a minute after that, New Jersey answers. It was a crazy period. Bratt scores from Severson and Hughes at 15:45, and then they pull the goaltender, and the chaos would happen soon after. Kane, he gets an empty net goal for his hat trick at 18:37. They pull the goalie again down by 2, because that's what you do, and then Hagel hits the empty net at 19:32. And Subban did what he tried to do to try to prevent that empty net goal from going in. Taking down Hagel on his hat trick goal tends to draw a crowd, and we ended up with some fisticuffs to end things out. But yeah, it was kind of a crazy game. But Chicago wins this one 8-5. They go to 19-26-8. New Jersey drops this one. They go to 18-29-5. The shots 15-8 in favor of New Jersey in the first, 16-9 Chicago in the second, 13-12 Chicago in the third. Final shots 37-36 for Chicago. Power plays, New Jersey 0-2, Chicago 3-4. That's the storyline right there. Hits 26-19 for New Jersey. Gillies saves 29 out of 35. Lankinen saves 31 out of 36. It was a crazy game. We had 13 goals. So if you took the over, you probably made some money in that one. That being said, I do need to change boards. Next up, Winnipeg. So I thought wearing the Jets jersey for the preview this morning when I didn't have a whole lot of faith in them winning it. After the first period, I felt pretty good about it. I thought, this would be huge if the Jets actually pulled this off with the way that things have been going for them lately. No. Hellebuck versus Francouz in this one. There's an early press by the Jets. They do score. It's Connor from Dubois and Dillon at 2:13. It's a rebound goal, and it's the 30th goal of the season for Kyle Connor, who's been fantastic this year. Shots are 3 apiece at 6 minutes. The Jets press at 7.5, and they score. It's Morrissey from Dubois at 7:48. It's the 5th shot of the game for Winnipeg. And yeah, Dubois with a really nice play there. Morrissey buries it for his 7th of the season, which is tying his career high for goals in a year. Connor then had a rush chance save. Newhook fires one wide from in close. Dubois can't bury on a rush. The Avs get a power play. And during that power play, the Jets get a shorthanded goal. It's Lowry on a break at 16:26. The Jets then finish the kill. and Colorado had no shots. So, after the first period, the shots are close. The score is not. It's 3-0 Winnipeg. Hey, maybe Winnipeg can do this. But there's another 40 minutes to the game. Second period, early power play for the Avs. Rantanen's denied. Kadri had a chance held. And then as the power play had just ended, Landeskog scores from Rantanen and Taves at 3:10. There's a lot of time left in this game. The Jets press at 5 minutes, but in the next shift, the Avs get some pressure. McKinnon with a miss there. Jets get a power play. Dubois a net drive that wouldn't go. The Avs do kill that off. Kadri has a rush chance that's fired high. The shots are 11-3 for the Avs with 8.5 minutes left. It was pretty crazy. And then at 12:20, it's McKinnon from Rantanen and Burakovsky that makes it 3-2, and he just drills that one home on a rush. Pionk had a chance saved as the Jets try pressing back. The Avs press again with 3.5 minutes left. They would score. It's Landeskog with the second goal of the game from Nichushkin and Kadri at 17-17. Jets try to answer. They do. The shift after goals, they do, get it in the Colorado zone. They can't get the goal. So third period with the score tied, it doesn't stay tied for long. At 56 seconds, it's Burakovsky from Taves and McCarr. And again, the next shift, the Jets are trying to answer. It's not happening. Nichushkin with a net feed, that's blocked. The Avs press, and they have lots of momentum at this point too. There's a delay of game call, gives the Jets a power play. The Avs did kill it off. The Jets get 2 shots. There was a really good chance for Stastny, couldn't bury it. Pionk then wires one wide, and then at 12:13, it's McKinnon. He scores his third of the game. His second of the game. I'm getting ahead of myself. Second of the game for McKinnon, from Rantanen and McCarr at 12:13. And then Landeskog, he gets the hat trick from Nichushkin and Kadri at 13 minutes and 11 seconds. So, yeah, Nichushkin's second helper of the game. I think that's Kadri's second helper of the game as well. Yes. And so, yeah, Landeskog with the hat trick. There's a little bit of a penalty parade that takes place after that. There's a shorthanded chance for Pionk that's fired wide. Colorado scores 6 in a row. This is the first time they'd come back from down 3-0 in a very long time. I know they posted, I think it was like 1999 or something like that. Anyways, the Colorado Avalanche win. They go to 38-10-4. The Jets drop to 22-21-9, and the playoffs are becoming more and more distant for the Jets. Shots in this one, 12-11 Winnipeg in the first, and then it falls apart. 17-7 Colorado in the second, 14-9 Colorado in the third. Final shots 42-28 for Colorado. Machine at this point. Winnipeg 0-2 on the power play. Colorado 0-4. Hits 26-23 Colorado. Hellebuck saves 35 out of 41. Francouz recovers from allowing 2 goals in the first 5 shots. He ends up saving 25 out of 28. So tomorrow, Colorado plays Vegas, and they'll have Kemper, and we'll see how things work out, because Vegas was down in Arizona, and I'm wearing the Space Coyote because things are weird. It's Brossoit versus Wedgwood in this one. Wedgwood's numbers have been ridiculously good for his last few starts. Early power play for Vegas. That's killed off, but Vegas draws another power play. Eichel's denied. Carlson fires one wide. It's killed off. Vegas did press after it ends, and the shots are 6-3 for Vegas halfway through the period. Pietrangelo has a blast. That's tipped wide. Carrier is a net feed that's saved and held. Theodore has a chance saved. Vegas is really in control at this point. Coyotes get a power play. That's killed off without a whole lot of trouble. Haig was denied in the final minute. So it's scoreless after the first, but Vegas looks fantastic. Arizona's kind of flat-footed, and so you're just expecting that dam to burst for Arizona at some point soon. Second period. Better start by the Coyotes. In fact, they press at 3.5 minutes. Mosier has a shot that deflects wide. His next shot doesn't, and it's held onto by Brossoit. And then it's Vegas that opens the scoring. It's Carrier. It's a screenshot. Wedgwood didn't see it. From Whitecloud and McNabb at 11:03. That lead does not last that long at 14-16. Gostisbehere, Ghost, gets his first goal in 9 games from Chychrun and Galchenyuk. Vegas then tries to answer. The Coyotes get some pressure after that. Hand pass ended a good Coyotes chance. You can only do a hand pass in your own zone. Can't do it in the offensive zone or neutral zone. Janmark's denied and close, and his chance was held on to. Now, with 1:47 left, the Coyotes get a power play. There's a shorthanded rush for Smith that's fired wide, so it rolls over into the third. We're tied at 1. Vegas finishes the kill. There was only 13 seconds left in it, so not that hard to kill off 13 seconds. But then there's a press by Vegas. They're kept to the outside. But you're just like, well, Vegas should win this. Yeah, until Schmaltz scores his 10th of the year from Strawman and Boyd at 316. Strawman was playing game number 900 tonight, so he gets an assist in that. And for Schmaltz, he's been playing very well. It was a fantastic tip. No chance for Brossoit. That makes it 2-1. So Vegas presses for an answer. We saw the dislike amping up. It looked like Vegas was getting kind of frustrated, and rightfully so, right? They're in control of this game. They've outshot them for most of it, but they're down. That's just how that works sometimes. Shots are 6-2 for Vegas at 6.5 minutes. Dodonov is denied on a turnover chance. Theodore then has a chance that's saved and held onto. With 11:43 left, the Coyotes get a power play. That's killed off. Eichel has a rush chance. That's fired wide. Keller's denied on a glove save. Then we get crazy press by Vegas with 6.5 minutes left. Just, you're sure the puck's going to go in the net. You're just waiting for the referee to point at the net and guys to celebrate. It just doesn't happen. They don't tie it. Carrier with a net drive and more pressure after that. With 3:31 left, the Coyotes, they iced the puck and they were exhausted. Now, it's not good news that O'Brien had to leave the ice because he was hurt, but because O'Brien's hurt and he's allowed to leave the ice despite it being an icing, it allows Coyotes to get a fresh player on, and they did clear it out. They did get the line changed, so crisis averted there. Galchenyuk then has a rush chance that's saved and held. Eichel with a blast, that's saved. Vegas ends up going offside with 1:08 left. So the Coyotes did a good job late in this one of making sure the puck's at the other end, the puck's in the neutral zone. They can't get Brossoit out. So with the offside with 1:08 left, they pulled Brossoit, which is risky because it's a neutral zone faceoff. And at 19:29, the Coyotes get the empty net. It's Schmaltz with the second of the game from Clayton Keller. And Arizona wins 3-1 over the Vegas Golden Knights. They go to 14-34-4. Vegas drops to 29-19-4. So now they get to play against Colorado. They're going home for that. And we shall see just how that turns out. That should be very interesting. The shots in this one, 16-9 Vegas in the first, 13-12 Arizona in the second, 16-10 Vegas in the third. Final shots, 44-32 for Vegas. Power plays, the Golden Knights go 0 for 2. Arizona goes 0 for 3. The hits, 41-17 for Arizona. Very physical game by Arizona. Brossoit saves 29 out of 31. He was very good. Wedgwood was just a little bit better. 43 saves on 44 shots for Scott Wedgwood. And yeah, so Arizona moves past Montreal. That race for last place has now become a race. Montreal passes them. They pass Montreal right back. So yeah, far more entertaining third period than it had any right to be, considering you have a team that's expected to be a contender and the Coyotes. So, yeah, very fascinating and an interesting little game. All right, LA in against the Anaheim Ducks. And for Anaheim, they need to turn this around. They are still, in the hunt for that playoff spot, and they've got enough points to possibly get in. However, the teams that they're fighting for that spot with all have games in hand on them, right? And so it's Quick versus Gibson in this one. Getzlaf has a chance early on. Quick makes the save there. Kaliev can't bury one on a Lemieux setup. There was a power play for the Kings. That's killed off. The shots are 5-1 for LA at 6 minutes. They came out with all the energy, and Grunstrom on a great pass from Byfield. He scores. Brown with the other assist at 7:50. Zegras then nearly answers. And 1:45 left in the period, the Ducks get a power play. So it wasn't the most exciting period, but the Kings come out of that up 1-0. They don't care how exciting the period is. So second period, Anderson with an early rush. That's saved. Of course, the rest of that power play was killed off by the Kings. There was only 15 seconds left. Things get kind of scrummy after a save by Quick, so they pull one player each. I thought Quick using his goal stick and kind of poking at people. Eventually, referees can be like, knock it off. Then there's a turnover that burns the Ducks here. It's Kempe from Kopitar at 3:51. So Kopitar gets the turnover. Kempe just drilled it. Then there's a net pass to Milano. Doughty blocks that. Kings get a power play, and they score on it. It's Kopitar on the power play from Kempe and Doughty at 10 minutes and 11 seconds. So it's a little past the halfway mark of the game, and the Kings are up by a score of 3-0. So, and they were very happy to be up on their crosstown rivals from Anaheim. And that one goes under Gibson's pad. Kaliev then nearly adds another, and then Kempe does. At 12:51, now it's a screenshot, and Hayward kind of said it's a screenshot. Gibson doesn't see it. I know it was unexpected by Gibson. I kind of felt like he probably should have had that one. But again, the Kings were very good. Delorier wanted to drop the gloves with Lemieux, and Lemieux just basically looks at the score and goes, nah. So that part of my prediction almost happens, but it's 4-0. Why bother? So Stolarz takes over during a TV timeout. The Ducks get a power play. Kings don't let them set it up. Gets killed off. So the power play for the Ducks that was huge for them early in the season, tonight it looked like last year's power play. That's not a good thing. 57.5 seconds left. The Kings get a power play. So that rolls over into the third. The Ducks did finish that kill. Terry then puts the Ducks on the board from Getzlaf and Henrique at 2:12. He wired it over Quick's shoulder, and it starts to become kind of a game at this point. And you can see, like, the Kings, maybe, right? So there's a post for Milano the next shift. Again, and I say this a lot, but if that one goes in, it didn't. Ducks were pressing. They had the momentum. Lindholm then had a rush chance that was defended. The Kings, though, they do press at 6.5 minutes. The Ducks get a 3-on-2 shortly after. Can't bury. Kopitar's a blast that's saved, and some good back-and-forth action between these two teams that, again, don't like each other a whole lot. There's a crossbar for Arvidsson. The shots are 6 apiece at the half, and it felt like most of those chances are really good ones. You know, sometimes you'll see a high shot total, but they're not great shots. In this one, it felt like most of them are pretty grade A chances. Arvidsson loses the handle on an opportunity. He had a lot tonight. He doesn't end up getting on the scoreboard, but he had a lot of good looks tonight. Ducks press with 4.5 minutes left, with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left. Doughty puts the puck over the glass, so that's a delay game call. Ducks go to the power play. The Ducks pulled Stolarz for 6-on-4. It's a right call. It's a smart move. It doesn't work. Empty net miss for the hat trick by Kempe. But the Ducks, they lose this one 4-1 at home. The Kings, 28-17-7. And don't look now. The Kings with this win are now 1 point ahead of Vegas. Yes, the Kings are second in the division. Vegas is third. The Ducks have to be frustrated with this result. They are now at 59 points, and they're watching as the Kings get further ahead of them. The shots, 11-7 LA in the first, 11-9 LA in the second, 10-9 LA in the third. Final shots, 32-25 for the Kings. Power plays, LA 1 for 3, Anaheim 0 for 3. The hits, 31-18 for Anaheim. Quick saves 24 out of 25. Gibson saves 16 out of 20. Stolarz saves all 12 shots in relief. So there isn't a goaltending controversy in Anaheim. Not yet. But Stolarz has looked pretty good his last couple of games. Maybe he gets a couple more starts. Because again, Anaheim only has 28 games left now. So we're down to it. You're down to 28 games left. You have to kind of go on a bit of a run here. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Which again points out just how perilous things are for Winnipeg, who are behind the Ducks by 6 points. And here I am talking about the Ducks and how there's some peril there. So let me know your thoughts regarding these games in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.